Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie. If you're new here, I cured myself from a decade of Lyme disease and I am here to bring you some of the tips and tricks I learned along the way. Today I am with my awesome friend Jacalyn. She is a farmer, herbalist, just a nerd about plants in general, and she has so much great information about not only herbs that are really awesome for your body, your immune system, all that kinds of good stuff, but also where you can find them and forage them for yourself. So today Jacalyn is going to show me where we can find, even in the cold and the winter in upstate New York, where we can find some cool plants and herbs that we can forage and use to make us healthy.
So we're heading to this apple tree that I found at this park, most recently because I just moved to the area and of course I'm searching for things immediately. So we're gonna head that way. It's a little late in the season for finding apples, but this tree still has bunch and they aren't frozen or gross yet, so we're gonna do it. And what's interesting when I find apple trees is that I kind of think about how that apple tree got there, because apples are not native. In New York State, especially upstate New York where we are, western New York, there are a ton of old orchards. And I always think about, is this an old orchard and is this tree left over? So for this spot exactly, the Erie Canal was running right through here. No longer is a highway. So I think to myself, this may have been planted here, or this may have been for the people on the canal. Someone may have thrown a core while working on the canal, so you never know the history about this exact tree. I also think maybe someone driving their car threw that apple core out and now we have this tree right alongside the highway. I would like to say it's not ideal to forage alongside roads, especially around here when the winters, the salts, all that pollution coming off the road, but sometimes you just gotta do it for that tree.
Wow! Look at him!
It's not bad.
It's an apple. We got an apple from a tree.
Yeah.
On the side of the highway.
A lot of wild apples, or apples at the park, look a little different. They're not like perfect at the store, of course. So you'll see a lot of indents, little from maybe bugs or birds, but kind of just cut around them. They taste amazing compared to store-bought apples. If you can find a tree and come back year after year.
How would you like cook with that?
So I love oatmeal and I eat it every day for breakfast. So I've been coming and grabbing a handful of these and cutting them up and letting them cook my oatmeal. So that's food, snacking of course, but I like warm foods. We cook foods right this time of the year. We make applesauce, jams, all of that high in pectin. You can make cider, apple cider vinegar. Essentially, if you find a bunch that are like inedible, it tastes like really bitter and sour.
Look at him! It's a multi-purpose tool. Part tripod, part apple picker. Why is that? Oh! Yay!
And then you try not to get hit in the head.
Right. Ow.
Oh, cute, right?
Looks perfect.
And it's more fun when you find it yourself.
Yeah.
Everything tastes better when you find it yourself, or grow it yourself. So our next plant is the hawthorn tree. It is a relatively small tree. It does get bigger than this, and it does stay smaller depending on where you are and the light access it has. So the hawthorn, to identify, you will see these beautiful red berries, as well as the biggest identifying factor are these thorns, right? Hawthorn, they're a couple inches long, really spiky. So be careful, but this will definitely identify it. You might find the with thorns on the branches or on the trunk. You can see that. So the berries are edible, and you don't want to eat the seeds though. So especially if you're with kids and you want them to experience eating wild foods, you'll probably want them to kind of squish them out with your fingers. You can just put them in your mouth and spit out. That's what I do, but with kids definitely just don't do that. There's anywhere from 1 to 7 seeds, so it's kind of a mouthful of seeds. But once you get to that, meaty. So what are these good for? Hawthorn is known as a heart medicine, really popular in Asia as well. So if you know of anybody or you have any heart disease, high blood pressure, blood sugar issues, or are at risk, you can use this as a tonic. So it's safe to take regularly, daily, as a tea. You can find tinctures in the stores, you can find tea in the stores, but if you are in an area where it grows, you need to make it yourself. It also is for the physical heart and the emotional heart. So if you have like a little bit of anxiety, a broken heart, you're grieving, Hawthorne's your plant. We're lucky this park has a ton of them, so we could take, a good amount, but always leave some for the birds. It's a good trailside snack if you don't end up like doing anything medicinal. It's kind of cool to just find. Why not to your friends? Make them eat them. Make them eat it. Super high in vitamin C. There's a couple other vitamins involved as well. You can make jams. They're high in pectin. I like to do tea, just snacking on them. You can dry them. You can make wreaths with them. You don't have to necessarily eat or make medicine. Grab some pine, which we'll see next, and grab some of these. Maybe cut off more of the branch. Be careful of the needles, and stick them in your wreath. You want to wait till after the frost. So you will see these berries well before the frost, but most plants that have like the high vitamin C protects them during the winter, and it also protects us during the winter. So wait for the frost. They'll have more of that benefit. The hawthorn thorns have been used in the past from early settlers and Native Americans, especially in our area here in Western New York, for fishing hooks and sewing needles. And you can just think about how useful this could be because they're so sturdy.
I picture this as being in Sleeping Beauty when she's like, or the prince is trying to get to Sleeping Beauty, and there's all of the thorny bushes. It's probably hawthorn trees.
The hawthorn is in the rose family as well as the apple.
They do kind of taste apple-y. They taste like a cross between a rose and an apple. That's what they taste like. Boom.
Our last plant of the day is eastern white pine. So native to our area and native to, I'd say, most of eastern United States. So it's super easy to ID. You probably already are familiar, or at least seen it. Really feathery, right? And then all you have to do to know if it's an eastern white pine is check out the little bundles. So to identify a white pine, there's going to be 5 needles in that little bundle. So each little bundle will have 5, and then white is 5 letters, so it's an easy way to remember those 5 needle rule. And these are edible, so you want to take a little taste. Just chew on it. Don't swallow it, because just like seeds, you don't want to swallow needles or hairy seeds. Chew it, spit it out. You're going to get that high vitamin C, ascorbic acid, right away. Yummy. Minty, foresty.
Christmassy.
Yeah, Christmassy. Why do we like pine? High in vitamin C. So the vitamin C in the trees is thought to protect them during the winter. Teas, that's my favorite way to use the pine needles. So all I do is chop up the needles when I get home, put them in a mason jar, cover the mason jar with hot water, let it sit for about 30 minutes, and then strain and enjoy. I add cloves. It's really, kind of tastes like Christmas. It is used for colds, flus, any like bronchial issues you might have, upper respiratory. Make a really strong tea on the stove with a ton of these for maybe an hour or more, and it will relieve some of that congestion up there. The resin as well is medicinal, and it's known to, if you eat some of the resin, it will help with that cough. You can make a bunch of different stuff. You can make it like a fancy salt, chop up the needles, mix in with some really large grain salt, roast it, and then jar it, and you'll have like a really fun garnish. decor, make that wreath, right, with your hawthorn. So another fun project you can do this winter with white pine is making an herbal white pine liqueur. So all you have to do is take a bunch of pine needles and add vodka, high proof vodka, or another favorite liqueur you have. You can also add cloves, cardamom, and at the end you'll have a really nice medicinal beverage. Add cranberries, enjoy over the winter. It's a fun little trail, like, nibble, you know?
Mmm.
Right?
It's like way better than I thought it was gonna be. It's like, it kind of tastes like gin, but like edible.
Yeah.
Edible gin. That's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel down below. Hit the notification bell. I have new videos coming out every Tuesday and Friday. Thank you so much, Jacalyn. Jacalyn, tell everyone where they can find you.
Sure. Well, I hope everyone learned at least something. Go outside this winter and just be a little more engaged and nibble on something.
Pet some plants.
Yeah. Take some dry branches home. You can find me on Instagram at
Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye. And here we go. This is the behind the scenes. That's fine.